Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we've got Warfighter Shadow War for you. Now Warfighter is a game that currently takes place in two different eras, either modern times or World War II. This is the modern times version, and this is the Shadow War base set in modern times. So this is the Shadow War. Basically, all of it takes place in night combat situations. There's some additional mechanisms in here that are not in the previous versions. One of the cool things with Warfighter is that you can actually, since it's all based on the same system, it's designed for you to mix and match the different eras. So you can take modern guys, put them in World War II, World War II guys, bring them up into modern times. They have a fantasy version coming out soon that also can be mixed and matched. And after the fantasy version fulfills, they have plans for a near future. And they even are talking about, way down the line, going into World War I, Vietnam, far future. So many different cool things you can do with this system. And they keep innovating on the system, adding new things, as you'll see in this Shadow War scenario that we're about to play today. So before we get down to the game topper and set up Shadow War, I do want to mention our sponsor, Board Game Co. This is a fantastic website where you can buy, sell, and trade games. They have a great selection of games for you to choose from. If you're just looking to purchase new games, you just want to build out your collection, make it, maybe you need a worker placement game. Maybe that's the thing that's missing from your collection. Well, go over to Board Game Co. and they can help you fill that spot. Maybe you want to trim down your collection. Maybe you've got too many games, too many of the same type of game, and you want to, trim it down, make it easier to handle, easier to manage, not take up as much shelf space. Go to Board Game Co. and sell games to them as well. And of course, they have their trade feature, which is really cool. If you have a Board Game Geek account and you've set up a trade list on Board Game Geek, you've got set up what you want in trade, what you have for trade, you can give Board Game Co. your Board Game Geek username. They'll take that list that you've built on Board Game Geek and they'll compare it to their inventory and they'll build a trade list right on their website to help facilitate a trade between the two of you. Now, of course, if you don't have a Board Game Geek account, you can still trade with Board Game Co. It just takes a little bit more effort, but it's a really cool feature. If you do go to Board Game Co., click on the link in the description below so they know I sent you over there. Board Game Co. makes it easy to buy, sell, and trade your way into a better collection. Also, if you do want to support our channel, be sure to check the links in the description below for various ways you can do that, including purchasing a copy of Warfighter Shadow War. All right, without anything else, let's get down to the game topper. I'm going to show you this particular scenario for Warfighter Shadow War. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is choose our mission. Now, technically speaking, you're allowed to choose from any of the ones available. I always like to do it a little bit randomly, so I'll draw two from the mission deck, and we'll pick which one we want to go with. So we've got going small and no sweat. So pretty different situations here. This one, 86 resources available, 46 for this one, much smaller. Time, actually less time for no sweat, 10 time, 11 time on going small, not a huge difference. Objective is going to be 6 spaces away for no sweat, 5 spaces away for going small. And the loadout, we get +2 on our loadout for going small, -5 for no sweat. And then let's see. For no sweat, roll 1 extra time for each hostile's random movement. And for going small, select only 1 soldier. Start with 2 experience points. That's interesting. That's an interesting situation there. Let's go with going small. So that goes right here on the mission spot. And then next we have to choose our objective. So again, I'll normally grab 2 of these randomly and choose. So we either have to tap a hacking center or get a VIP defector. Let's see, so this one has an entrance cost of 2 and nighttime entrance cost of an additional 2, whereas this is 3 and 3. The defector is going to have significantly more reinforcements potentially show up. This is in a structure on site. What does that mean? Okay, it just means that to complete the objective, I have to have a soldier on the card. Isolated means attacks originating from outside the location cannot attack a target in the location. Okay. Attacks originating in the location cannot attack. Okay, so basically the idea is that that's a isolated location, and whereas normally when you're in that location, you're adjacent to the ones next to it, and you can fire into those other locations. Since it's isolated, you can't do that. You have to be on this space to attack something on this space. And to attack something outside of the space, you got to be outside the space. Let's see. Keep clear 2. I believe that means I got to keep it clear of enemies for 2 turns. Once you activate the objective, you must have no hostiles in the card at the end of each soldier turn for a specified number of soldier turns. Yep. Add 2 to the entrance cost. Let's see. Oh, add 2 to the entrance cost of the extraction card. Okay. Then with the tap a hacking center, it's a structure. Deliver 1 comms tracer equipment to this objective. A soldier cannot enter this location if hostiles are in this location. Okay, now one thing to keep in mind, so that comms tracer equipment. Let's look and see. How expensive that is. Because remember, I only have 46 resources to spend for this mission. Oh, it's only okay. The comms tracer is only 3 resource points, and its loadout is even less. Its loadout is only 2, so that's not so bad. That's actually potentially a doable mission. Let's go with the VIP. Well, no. Let's go with the Tapa Hacking Center. Yeah, let's do that. So remember, it's going to be on objective number 5 or on space number 5. So that'll go right there. And now we've got to get an insertion and extraction option available. All right, so let's draw 2 randomly again and see what we're going to go with. We have amphibious assault insertion, and we have a halo insertion, which is high altitude, low opening. So you jump out of a plane that's way, way up in the sky, and then you open the parachute really low to the ground. In this case, you're going to pay resource points equal to the objective location number printed on the mission card. So this, to do the halo jump, that's going to cost us 5 resource points. To do the amphibious insertion, subtract mission turns based on the objective's location number printed on the mission card. Yeah. So 5. So we have to subtract 5 mission turns from it. We're already at 11 mission turns. Location number 2. Oh, wait. Okay. So, no, I'm sorry. Location number 5, we're going to do -3 turns. So we would have to subtract 3. So that knocks us down to 8. But each soldier starts with 1 XP. So that's a pretty interesting trade-off there. Whereas here we're down to 41 resources. And since we are doing the Tap a Hacking Center, the comms tracer has to come with us. So we're already down 3. But this will really cause a time crunch. Let's do the halo insertion. All right, and then we've got to do our extraction. Now there is an actual extraction space, just like there's an insertion space, but I always like to keep it right next to the objective, just so I kind of can keep it in mind. I just keep it right there in the forefront of my mind, what's going on. So let's see, we've got 2 options here for extraction. We've got helicopter extraction or amphibious extraction. All right, so roll 6+ or mission ends in failure. Pay experience points before rolling. Add 1 to the roll for each experience point paid. That's interesting. And then here, so basically to guarantee it would be, I have to pay 5 experience points. And I really like using my experience points for upgunning. So that seems, I don't know. I don't really like that a whole lot. Previous card and this card must have no hostiles. Whew. That also could be tricky. It doesn't have a reinforcement roll though. So I just have to keep hostiles from moving on to it basically. We're going to try the amphibious. We're going to try the amphibious extraction. Okay, so real quick, let's get our time right. It needs to be at 11. Okay. And yeah. All right, so let's get everything else set up. Let's get down here and pick our soldier. All right, so these are all the player characters, the player soldiers I have available to me. And like I said, remember, we only have, 46 resources. And actually, we've used 8 of those, 5 for the Halo drop and 3 for the comms tracer. So really, we've got 38 resources available to us. Now, our loadout will be two more than what is currently shown on the card because of the going small loadout ability here. So let's see, who has the highest loadout? We got Clark here, who's going to cost us 25 resources, but he has a loadout of 12. All right, so this CX stat is the number of combat experience. So basically, I can draw that many action cards freely at the beginning of their turn every round without having to take an action to do it. So let's see. And then, he starts with 6 experience points. That's interesting. Do I want to change from amphibious to helicopter? You know what, y'all? Here's what we're gonna go. We're gonna go with West. I think, like, I know there were some other stats to look at there, but we're gonna go with West. And I'm gonna change this amphibious to the helicopter. All right, so let's check out the rest of West's stats here. So he's got 7 health. That's also my hand size. He's costing me 22 resource points. He has a movement of 2. So, for instance, with the Tappa Hacking Center, the entrance cost is 3. Well, that 2 right there knocks it down to 1. All right, so that's good. That also means that my helicopter entrance is now free as long as I can deal with the night entrance cost there. Let's see. So 7 health, 11 loadout. It's actually going to be 13 because of the mission going small. Hand-to-hand combat, he gets +0 bonus there, so that's not great. He's going to start with 6 experience points. And then his shadow ability is 8+. That means when he moves, if I can roll an 8+, it doesn't cause any noise. And then we've got marksman, which let's look that up real quick. Oh, I think that's a skill. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. All right, so he starts with marksman. Add 1 to your ranged attack rolls. Nice. Okay. And so, see, normally that would cost me 3 resource points, but it's built into him, so I don't have to pay for that. And you can see he also has built-in night goggles. So that also is free. I don't pay the 1 for that. And let's see. Okay. And the night goggles allow me to reveal soldiers or enemy combatants and everything, as well as help to deal with the night entrance penalty for whatever area I'm moving into. All right, so now we need to finish his loadout. So like I said, we have the comms tracer. All right, so we've got the comms tracer. So that is 2 loadout, and we're already using... Okay, and we've got 22 resource points. 3 resource points is 25. The Halo drop is 5 more. So that's 30. So basically we can spend an additional 16 resource points. Obviously we need to get a weapon, at least 1 weapon. Possibly the M4 carbine. We want something that has at least 1 range. How's that look compared? No. 16A2, 5.4. No, I think okay. So, and for if we can, for some silent kills, we'll grab the K-bar knife. All right, so that right now has our loadout at 2, 5, 6. So we got plenty of room left in our loadout, but we just added 6 more. So what's that? We got 10 left, I believe. 36. 10. We have 10 more for our resource points. Let's see if there's any equipment we want to grab. I think actually we're going to upgrade our night vision goggles. ENVG3s. So they basically do everything the night vision goggle does and add 1 to our ranged attack rolls. So my understanding is that since the night vision goggles cost 1, this only is going to add 2 additional to our resource costs. So that means we have 8 left to use. And I think we'll grab the covert gear. So it's going to be 3 more resource costs, no loadout, so that's good. We can purchase this equipment for any soldier with Shadow's ability, add 2 to the Shadow roll, limit 1 per soldier. All right, so that's going to help us maintain quiet. That should leave us with, I think, 5 now for 5 left for our resource points. Let me double check that. Oh, look at this one. So if you haven't seen Shadow War before, you don't know how good that ability is, that skill. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with now. That leaves us with 1 resource point available, but I think we're good. I think that's how we're going to do it. All right, so here's our final setup. Let's count our resources real quick just to double check. So Halo cost us 5 because the objective is 5 spaces away. West is 22, so that's 27. Marksman, we don't have to worry about. Patience makes it 41. And 31. And then we've got these that are only going to cost us 2 because they're an upgrade for the goggles that we already had. So that's 33, 36, 39, 44, 45. Perfect. Okay. So then, and for our loadout, let's double check that. We can have 13 for our loadout. We've got 1, 4, 6, 7. So we're way low on our loadout. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, you know what we forgot? And in fact, I know what we're gonna do with that extra. We forgot to get our ammo. So that's where we're gonna spend that extra resource point. And so black ammo is much quieter than a regular ammo, and it also has the same power. So we'll get 1 of those. That will take care. That's that 1 extra resource right there. You see the 1 there. So that gets us to 46 resource points. And then the rest of the ammo is going to be subsonic ammo. The problem with subsonic ammo is it's not as powerful. So if we end up using that, things are probably going to be a little trickier. And we will also, well, you know what? Actually, let's have 2. We'll have 2 regular ammo as well, in case things get real bad. So there's our 2 regular ammo. And I'm stacking them, but we don't actually have to use them in this order. All right, and now we are ready for this mission. Okay, there you go. That's the setup. We pretty much are ready to go now. I might touch on a couple extra things once we get back into the actual gameplay video. But I hope you enjoyed this. I'm really excited. I have not played a scenario like this where you have just a single soldier. So that's going to be pretty interesting. A lot of stealth in this game, if you hadn't noticed it already. There's actually a noise track over on this side of the board that is very important to keep the noise down. And unlike in other versions of Warfighter, the enemies don't even know you're there initially. You're sneaking up on them. Really cool things going on here. So be sure to come back and check out our gameplay video. Should be out next week, I believe. And until next time, if you're bored online, bored offline.